weird and do it on my phone because it's quicker. This is just a quick little live just to pop a video up just to let you guys all know that we are okay. So last week, we'd literally just left home to go on holiday. We were going on a caravanning seaside holiday, and we'd packed our car. We were all like ready to rock and roll, and we popped to McDonald's, and in that time Arthur fell asleep in the back of the car. And so we kept on McDonald's. We're like, right, we'll stop at some point when he wakes up and he can have it. And then we were travelling along main road, like literally only 10-minute drive from our house, and we stopped at a roundabout. The traffic was kind of normal distance from the roundabout, and yeah, basically, hey Jack, hey, thanks for popping on. And yeah, basically, the car behind us, we were completely out of stop. The car behind us just didn't stop, and we think he was still going at least 40 miles an hour, and it was really scary because we looked into, me and David, very flat, a split second, we'd looked in the rearview mirrors and we just saw this white car coming, and you literally have like a millisecond, and I was aware that David saw it. He made either like some kind of sound or indication to me, something, a movement that I just knew he knew and I knew, and there was nothing we could do. And at that moment, like what physically like happened, I can't really remember, but he hit us full on, and all I remember is like fluid going down my leg, and I just got a Sprite from McDonald's and it was in my door. And I was so scared I didn't even like look down at my leg. I didn't know what it was. And I remember I was wearing my really cute black dungarees and my yellow sunny t-shirt, and yeah, I remember not knowing whether I was in pain or not, and my first thought was Arthur, because he was in the child car seat behind me, facing backwards, the safest way to be, and he was asleep, and all I remember was screaming, like literally like full on like screaming, like a siren, like scream, 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 scream. And that was all I remember of like myself. And like David was amazing. He jumped out of the car straight away. He was on the passenger side, I'd been driving, and he I knew Arthur was okay because I know his type of cry, and I knew that it was a woken up, sad, worried cry rather than he was in pain cry. And the fact I could hear him immediately like really helped because I just didn't know. All in that second when you see the car coming in the rearview mirror, is I don't know if he's going to be okay because he's in the back. And my car's an estate, was an estate. And hi Joe. And I remember quickly looking around and looking right, the inside of the back of the car where Arthur sat it doesn't look like it's been touched. It's okay. And so David got out. I didn't want to move because I didn't know at this point whether what the fluid was on my leg, and I was worried I was injured but didn't know it. And then I gradually got myself out the passenger side of the door, because I was so scared of opening my right hand side door and the like traffic coming. So I got out and I just was shaking and shaking and shaking and crying, and I knew David was already on the phone to the emergency services, and so when the car hit us behind, it bumped us into the car in front of us, and we had nowhere to go. There was a split second, and there was no time to respond whatsoever. And so yeah, we just bumped into the one in front, and the guy in front was amazing. He went and he got Arthur out of the car seat, because I was in shock and I was just at the side of the road and I couldn't control myself at all. And he got him out, and I just remember him saying, "Let's get you to mummy." And sorry. And I sat on the side of the road with Arthur, and David grabbed his Happy Meal and he had his Happy Meal on the side of the road. And I just remember shouting, "I can smell fuel, I can smell fuel." And the car behind, literally, his bonnet was squished all the way up to his windscreen. And you could see his engine, and there was just fuel and liquid just pouring. I don't know if it was fuel, oil pouring all over the road. So we got off the road and to the side and just out of the way. And me and Arthur just sat there. Arthur was fine. Like, he was excited that we were sat at the side of the road and he had a Happy Meal. But yeah, the guy in front of us was really helpful, and he got us an umbrella because it was really hot. And I remember the police didn't come for like over half an hour, so we were just on the side of the road, and the ambulances came before the police. And the car behind, there was a white Mazda X3, and it was just a mess, and his airbags had gone off. And I got out my passenger side of the door, and my car was a mess at the front and at the back, and to this day I haven't looked at the back of the car because I'm just haven't. I don't want to see it. And the guy who was driving, I shouldn't say because we still don't know exactly what the outcome is, but he was a certain type of person, and me and David have our ideas of maybe what he was doing or why he wasn't concentrating, but probably shouldn't say at the moment. But he got out the car. He jumped out of the car, but his car was just totaled. Yeah. So we sat at the side of the road, and the ambulance came and they checked me, David, and Arthur over. Arthur was perfectly fine. David definitely has whiplash, and I was then strapped to a spinal board because there was like C2, C3 on my spine. They were concerned about because it was really tender, and so they strapped me. Well, they didn't strap me on a board at that point. It immobilized my head, and then when I got to the hospital, they were like, "Why did you not strap it down to a spinal board?" So then they got me in the spinal board. They wanted to double check and do an x-ray to make sure that there was no spinal damage, and it was all fine. X-ray came back fine, but I was in the hospital for like 8 hours or something crazy. And it was just horrible. We were just trying to work out what we were doing because we just left for our holiday and all the stuff was in the car, and so David managed to pull out as much as he could in that time. And actually the dad of the guy who crashed into us, he took my husband and Arthur back to our house because it's only 10 minutes away, and with their luggage. And David's plan was to get in his car and meet me at the hospital. So that's what they did, and they put all the holiday stuff in the car and came to the hospital. But they didn't know how they waited for like, oh, my neck's so bad. They waited for like at least 6 hours in the hospital waiting for me, and it was really hard because I couldn't move because I was strapped to a board, and I had to go to the toilet. I was just lying on the board, and it was just yeah, it was horrible. But all the checks were done and stuff, and it was great. But I hadn't eaten in like 6 hours because they brought me lasagna, and this guy, bless him, he was just obviously does food rounds, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm going to be let off the board in a minute. It's fine." And he put it on the side, and 2 hours later, my lasagna was still there. I still hadn't eaten it. And when the doctor finally came I'd had an X-ray like 2 hours before, and it took like 2 hours for the doctor to come and actually tell me that it was okay. I was like, "Go on, let me out." And he was like, "Oh, we could observe you for a few hours or overnight." I was like, "No, let me go." I was waiting for 6 hours. Just let me go. It's fine. If there's any problems, I'll come back. But like the next day, I was left with a lot of pain in my right side. So what probably happened when the car hit me behind was my hand was on the steering wheel, and it all just got jarred and shoved back. I had like a small semicircle bruise on my forearm, which I think is where the steering wheel hit my arm, and I remember there being sort of burning pain in the palm of my hand. But we didn't hit anything else. Our airbags didn't go off because apparently when hit by behind, the airbags in front only go off if the car behind you pushes you more than like 17 miles an hour or something. So yeah, I've just got problems with my right arm, and I saw the GP for the first time today because we went on holiday. So it's the first time I've been back home really. GP saw me today and said I have soft tissue damage, so I have to be careful with my arm. So I'm just trying to work out whether I'm working tomorrow or I'm going to work and try and work around it. Because I'm supposed to be doing lots of musical stuff tomorrow. So yeah, when I was eventually let go at the hospital, David was like, right, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't want to go home. We literally just set off for a holiday, and my mother-in-law and family were waiting for us in the caravan at the seaside, and we're like, right, let's just carry on. Because the distance between our home and the hospital, we were already part of the way on our journey to where we were going. So we're like, well, if we go home, waste the trip. So we carried on, and yeah, we had our holiday, but it's just now that we've come back, because we came back a couple of days ago, that like reality sort of really kicks in, and I've got all these claims to do, and my car got written off category B, so I now have no car, and it's just getting the money back for my car, and all this horrible stuff that you just don't want to deal with, and it's not your fault. And like putting an injury claim in, because obviously I have fibromyalgia, and it's kicked off all my pain receptors, so it's worse than normal. So yeah, it's but I don't want to take the mickey, and trying to be very realistic about it. And it easily happens, like, he distracted for those 2 seconds, the car behind. I don't know what he was doing, and I don't know whether the police will find out. But we need to speak to the police again. But yeah, and now I've just got that trauma of, I just keep seeing that rearview mirror moment, and that just keeps flashing back, like in my head, of seeing the car coming and not being able to do anything. I know Joe has written a couple of messages. I'm doing it this way on my phone. Let's see if I can see them. Can I see them this way? So this one, oh no. I might turn it around. Can I do it that way? No, it says I have to rotate it. Come on, messages, where are you? Top chat. If you can say, what's happened to the driver that hit you? We don't know. We're not allowed to, I guess, not allowed to know data protection stuff. He got out of his car, he's all wobbly and like, but we don't know. So the police were supposed to take a statement the day after the crash, but they didn't call us. I don't know whether it's because we were on holiday and they didn't want to disturb us or what, but we're due to get a call back from them this week. And I don't know whether they'll divulge any more information. If the driver was doing something illegal, then I guess it's actually nothing to do with us, and it sounds weird, but they'll get prosecuted on that side of things, and they just need a statement for exactly what happened. But we have a witness to the car in front of us, saw it coming as well, and he didn't know what to do, whether to take his brake off, his foot off the brake or not. So he we have enough, that we don't need any proof of anything. And the police did come and obviously look at the scene, but at that point I was in the ambulance, so I don't know what the police did outside of the car, outside of the ambulance. And I had no idea what happened to anything, because my car just got taken away, and it was just trying to find out where everything was. And it's in the compound, and it's going to be sent to the bin or sold for scrap. So yeah, fun times. But the most important thing is that Arthur is okay, and his car seat was amazing, and the insurance people are buying him a new car seat, because you can't use one that's in a crash, and the insurance company have given me a hire car. So that's good, and it's a nice car, and I want to keep it, but I'm not allowed. I'm not going to be able to afford one like that, which is really crap, because you go through all this trauma, and you're like, now I have to buy a car again, and it's just so crap. But we'll get there. But I just wanted to let you guys all know we're okay. I just have a bit of problem with my arm, and I need to rest, and problem in my neck, but it's just like whiplashy stuff. But the doctor today was fantastic. She's taken a good report, and I put my injury claim in and stuff. But yeah, it's I know I didn't read back your message, Joe. You had a crash in 2020. Yeah, thank you, Joe. I hope your crash wasn't. Our crashes are nasty. I hope it wasn't like really horrific. Thanks, guys, for all being worried about me. It's been really nice to see your messages. I know I haven't really been able to reply, but I've been on holiday as well. But just been trying to block it out, and it's only now that really just sort of sorting all the rubbish out, the stuff that you shouldn't have to sort out. But everybody's okay. That's the important thing. Arthur's fine. He's bouncing about like a normal child, and as far as I know, he doesn't really remember what happened because he was asleep when it happened. The only thing he'll remember is me screaming that woke him up, and probably the impact hit. But his car seat in the back of my car was just, one of the horrible things was when we were on holiday was we had a big open IKEA bag in the back of the car, and that came with us. David managed to get it out and bring it with us on holiday, and I knew from the stuff he'd grabbed, stuff was missing. And I looked in the bottom of this IKEA bag, and I just found these just remember one day finding in the caravan these shards of something dark greeny blue on the sofa, and I was like, what is that? And I really couldn't work it out. And I looked in the bottom of the IKEA bag, and it was shards of glass, like the safety glass. So the back of my car, I know, was pretty nastily smashed in, and I'm glad it was an estate, so it was quite deep, but there must have been the glass come into my car and filled up my bags of stuff. And because I didn't look at the damage, it just hit me, like, I'm just finding all this glass now in my luggage. And I was like, why there's these blue pieces of plastic, these shards of plastic everywhere? And then I realized that in that bag was like a seaside bucket for Arthur to take to the beach, and that must have been decimated because the pieces were so tiny and they were everywhere. And there was he had one of these really fancy porta potty things, and I was like, this was before I realized that the stuff in this bag had been damaged. I was like, why is this popped out of this, and why is there why does it seem to be misshapen? And I was like, oh crap, the impact has actually must have squished the stuff in this bag. It did come into the car that much that it crushed things in the boot. And I remember David's suitcase being crushed in, and yeah, his potty was okay. I managed to pop it back into place, but you can see that damage on it. There's one of these ones with this flip lid with this sealable thing, and yeah, it was just a bit fancy for a potty, really. But and we had this little air conditioning box that we took on holiday with us, and the flap where the water goes in had cracked off, and I was like, it was before I realized, I was like, why are these things and I was like, oh, and then I just kept finding glass in there. And yeah, so my husband and dad are going over to see the car on Friday morning to retrieve anything left in it, even my speakers and stuff from my work, for my music groups and stuff. They're actually still in the car because we took them with us, and I need them back, but I'm gonna have to just cope tomorrow without them. But yeah, I know there's toys that we got that morning from Tesco because they'd reduced a load of garden toys, outdoor toys, and we put them in the car, and they are probably destroyed, that are still in there and stuff. So, and the really annoying thing was I had just spent 4 hours a couple of days before deep cleaning the car to go on holiday, so the back was really pristine for Arthur. It looked gorgeous, but it might I've got the amount back. I've been told how much my car's worth, so I don't know, that might have contributed, because it looked quite nice in there. So maybe that effort did help. But yeah, it's all pretty crap. But yeah, I'm gonna head off now, guys. I just wanted to let you know all okay and exactly what happened, and I will do some ASMR soon. I need some chill out space. And I'm on holiday. I bought this beautiful gua sha jade piece from this beautiful ethnic Zen shop. All the walls were painted and stuff. It was beautiful. So I'm going to use that in the gua sha in the acupressure video, which will be the next one. But I just need to have time once I'm not doing all these forms and claims to do some recording. So I need to get back on it, guys. And it's not a pressure on me. I want to do it, and it makes me feel good. So thank you though, Joe. I did have a lovely holiday. It was hard to completely relax, as you can imagine, but it was beautiful. We spent lots of time at the beach in the sea and sun, and we were looking for fossils, and it was just really lovely. And we spent time with family, which is what we really needed after all of that. So it was nicer than, you know, having to go back to work and dealing with that on top of it. So yeah, you know, it was really good. A good bit of respite, and just coming back to down to earth now is just trying to cope with that. But yeah, I'm gonna head off now, guys. Thank you for those who jumped in on the live today. I didn't really expect anyone to be there, but it was more just to get the video up for you. So thank you very much. I am going to stop it now if I can work out how to. I need to stop doing that. Work out how to do it on my phone. Doodly doo. I can't find. There isn't like a stop button. I'm turning it upside down. There must be this one. See you soon, guys. I will speak to you all soon and hopefully get another video out for you. Thank you for checking in and for your lovely, kind and supportive messages. They mean the world to me. So take care, and hopefully this didn't stress you out watching it. It's not really kind of relaxing kind of video for you, is it? See you, Joe. Thanks as always, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.